As I put together this video to bring things up to speed again, so much life has happened in the first 2 months of this year, yet it feels as if nothing has changed. I'm still the same me, still doing the same old, still heading down the same path, but just on the other side. Now, I show in the background all the documented events that have occurred recently. A trip to Williamsburg, a trip skiing, a lot of running, some bread baking, and some other trips around DC. And I unfortunately missed documenting some gatherings with friends and family, downtime spent reading or just trying to study. While I acknowledge up front that yes, it's only been 2 months into the year, yes, change takes time, and despite how it seems, I have done quite a bit already and have made steps in new directions. At the same time, I sit with the alarming realization from today, the 26th of February, that 2 months have gone by without me noticing. And to that point further, the 8 months that I've spent at my new job have also just passed right through me. A belief gymnastics solidified for me was that tiny progress, no matter how seemingly trivial, adds up over time, and that consistent effort shows itself later on. I still hold this belief, but while sitting at my desk and thinking, I really spent the majority of my waking hours here in this space, working on work obviously, but still spending a good chunk of time of that just idling. I feel as if I'm throwing away my time and almost wasting that opportunity to slowly piece together something greater. Especially when I remember the fact that 8 months have already come and gone in the blink of an eye. To clarify, I'm grateful for the job I have, and I don't think saying some of my days spent idling implies that I don't do anything at work. Nor do I think it's a valid criticism saying, what do you mean you don't work 40 hours of each week nonstop down to the very last minute? But my main point still stands. To think about the idle time accumulated over the almost year spent sitting, scrolling, waiting, and how maybe that could have been spent differently. Sure is a little regretful, maybe weighs me down a little bit too, but the thought that comes with looking forward down this path, years stacked upon years of rinse and repeat, the accumulated months turned years of idle time, and now I'm 35. That weighs on me infinitely more. That's not to say I don't want to work. This path I'm on, has its benefits and stability and comfort, which I do enjoy. It's maybe that the future I see myself in as I continue down this path for years on years isn't one that I will see myself happy or perhaps able to look back at 10 years prior me and say, wow, I'm really proud of what I accomplished over the last 10 years. I feel these were very well spent and I can't wait for more. Again, I don't want this to sound like that, I don't like my current job and that I'm getting absolutely nothing out of it, because that's not the case. I don't think it's necessarily wrong to say I envision a career switch at some point in the future, but I don't see my eventual, quote, career switch being the typical, move to a different company, different field of work, type of thing that you always see. Which sounds, defiant, maybe better for me short term or long term, I don't know, but the thought of pursuing that path is quite terrifying. Stability, comfort, pay, although I try not to worry about it. Both paths would of course head in their own uncertain directions, but one with significantly more resources than the other, and that is something that frightens me. I realize this kind of became a 9 to 5 discussion, but the same could also be said about the 5 to 9 after work too, where the same scrolling, sitting, resting happens unbeknownst and the days turns to months. The former to me, however, feels a little different in how you're able to use that idle time, a little bit more limiting, but I am aware that I could easily just waste or misuse my time outside of work and eventually come to the same realization. Now, I don't have some nice packaged ending where I say, and I'm quitting my job, and I'm pursuing content creation and moving to LA, or have some encouraging plan of action like, I'm going to waste no more of my time, or not yet at least. I'm certainly not the first to realize this, and I'm sure many before me have created their own paths out of this realization. I think the best I can do right now just boils down to keep thinking about it and keep opening doors, which feels kind of sucky just because they're not really tangible or easy to measure progress steps, but that's where my head's at right now. I know this isn't the most exciting and fun topic of video that I thought I'd be making, but it felt right for some reason, and the crux of what this channel, I guess, stands for is authenticity and being real and upfront with my life and documenting how it is. So by the time this video comes out, it's definitely March at this point, and maybe mid-March, I don't know. Not sure how much will have changed between now and then, but if you made it this far, thanks for listening, and feel free to share any input if you have any, and I'll see you in the next one.